Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox, and welcome back to another monthly roundup segment where I go over a bunch of records that I didn't touch upon in a full-length review, and, I'm going to officially rename this the Gauntlet. So I got a few records to talk about here with you guys. Also, stay tuned till the end. I'll give you an update on a record that I've been enthralled with recently, and yeah, let's get into these quick reviews. Starting off with His Holiness himself, the Dalai Lama. Yes, Inner World. This is a full-length album that was dropped by the Dalai Lama a few weeks back, and, it's actually not really that bad. I mean, as far as, a little, lo-fi ambient release goes, some pretty serene landscapes and melodies that are woven into these instrumentals, honestly, but, when the Dalai Lama comes in and gives his spoken word vocal delivery, it's just really awkward. He's, towering over the tracks and just sounds larger than life, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird, but still worth checking out this record, believe it or not. Newest album from Protomartyr, Ultimate Success Today. I'm gonna be honest, I've never really been into this band, overall. I don't know, they're just really boring and just don't really offer as interesting a take on post-punk than other acts out there, in my opinion. Newest album from Jessy Lanza, All the Time. I have been playing this record recently, actually, all the time. It's really enjoyable. I guess over the first pass or two, I kind of tried to dismiss this as just kind of a little plain, but the melodies really caught me, and the structures of the tracks and stuff like that. It's almost like if you took something like Yeji and mixed it with Blood Orange with just a dash of Grimes in the vocals, or at least I think this record might appeal to the fan bases of those artists. But yeah, just one catchy track after another. I just really like it. It's just fun. So we have a full-length debut of sorts here from Dominic Fike. What could possibly go wrong? Pretty much everything over here. It is just a gumbo soup of a bunch of different trendy sounds that are thrown together in just a really shitty way overall. I can't pick out anything in the way of personality in his vocals. The songs are so scant, they end up stopping most of the times. I just don't know what is so enthralling about this guy. He pretty much just has a career because Brockhampton, in my opinion. The singer-songwriter Lianne Havas has a new album. It's self-titled over here, and it's just okay, honestly. Kind of was a little bit bummed after listening to this whole thing. It is just way too plain for my ears overall. This is like listening to a Tiny Desk concert, which is cool, I suppose. And I did like the tracks Green Papaya and Can't Fight. I thought those were really beautiful songs. She has a really nice voice, but there's just not much to chew over on this album for me personally. I just got really bored with it. Newest record from Bladee, 333 over here. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't think I'm a Bladee fan. After hearing his last record, there were a few spots on there that I did enjoy, but yeah, I can't do it. The vocals, just way too whiny for me. We have a posthumous album here from Wrld, rest in peace. Really, really sad seeing him pass away so tragically a little while back. As far as the music on this new record over here, not really for me. I've never really been too big into Wrld overall, and, listen to this album, it's the same track over and over and over again, and kind of just serves as an example of, how narrow-minded hip-hop fans have become. I feel like if they're just satisfied hearing one, sad, emo, drug-induced banger after another over and over again. So this is a new EP or album. I'm not really quite sure. It's kind of billed as an album, but feels like an EP by Global Communications. It's called Transmissions, and this is a actually really nice electronic, IDM-tinged ambient kind of release over here. The tracks are on the lengthier side of things, but I do enjoy the sound palettes and just the overall kind of mellow vibe that it casts out. So yeah, I'd say give this a listen if you're a fan of Warp Records, all that kind of stuff. The Swedish black metal outfit Taylor Swift have surprise released a new album, Folklore. Newest full-length album from Boris, which I was actually really excited about going into it, and leaving it, I don't know, not as much. It is pretty much a tried and true thrash metal record over here from Boris, which I'm sure will excite a lot of older fans, but for me, I don't know, the vocals are just so awkward in here. They just, I don't know, they just give off this really cringy kind of sound for me. But yeah, I mean, definitely worth checking out if you're a diehard Boris fan. I'm sure you've already listened to it and probably like it, but it's not on streaming services. This is only on Bandcamp, so that's where you gotta find it. So the dynamic duo of rapper Blu and producer Exile have released a new album over here, Miles, which is like miles long. Honestly, it's like 19 tracks. There is a lot of material on here, but it's, a really solid album overall. I mean, it does throw it back to like the 90s, like boom bap, jazz era, hip hop kind of style. It's very, very, very true and authentic to that sound. So if you do enjoy stuff like that, I think you should give this a listen. You're going to enjoy it. This didn't really blow me away though. But I did have a good time the front to back. I mean, they just bring so many decent tracks to the table. And rounding out this batch of reviews here, we have the newest debut album from Gulch, Impenetrable, Cerebral Fortress. This is a pretty buzzed about hardcore punk band that I've heard a lot of people talking about from some earlier EPs over here. And, now we have a full length. It's 16 minutes long, which, it's fine if it's short, if the songs really have a lot of punch and impact, and these don't, in my opinion. I mean, the vocalist of this band is terrible. I mean, maybe it's just the way that these tracks are mixed, but I can barely hear them. They do not have a strong enough voice to be doing this style of hardcore, in my opinion. The drums sound super thin, and these tracks are pretty much just over before they start, honestly. I mean, they sequence nicely into one another, but there's just nothing interesting going on whatsoever on this album. And before I ended this video, I wanted to update you guys on a record that I've been listening to a lot recently, one that's re-entered my listening circle pretty heavily, which is Basement Jaxx Rooty. This is a dance record, came out in 2001. So same year as Daft Punk's Discovery, and over time, this has actually surpassed that record for me. I actually enjoyed this more. I mean, really colorful bangers on here, some amazing vocal samples that they're able to weave in, and everything sounds so huge and colorful. I mean, this really seemed like to forecast where a lot of electronic and pop and stuff have gone in recent years, even as up to like 2020, to my ears at least. And yeah, I mean, I just don't hear as many people reference this album for some reason, but it's got that viral single like Where's Your Head At on it, but even the first track, Romeo, is like one of my favorite songs as of recent. So yeah, that's going to do it for this month's Gauntlet for July. I will be back in August once again. Hopefully there are more records that come out. It's been kind of like a slowdown recently, but we'll see. There will be a bounce back eventually, but thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did listen to any of these albums, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.